Before we get into this story video with my friend Naim, I just want to do some housekeeping. Lately, I've been really busy with work, so my YouTube uploads have been kind of erratic. But some things I want to remind you about is that I'm leading a Thailand trip in March of 2024. If you want to sign up, there's a link right here. But also, in addition to that, literally a week right after that, I'm leading a workshop in Portugal. If you want to sign up for that, link is right up here as well. And I'm in the final stages of filming and editing my first short documentary that I'll hopefully be able to premiere in Brooklyn next year. So you can stay tuned for that. Follow me on Instagram for updates on that. So yeah, that's it for housekeeping. Let's get on to the video.
Last one. When you look at yourself in the mirror before you go to work, and when you look at yourself in the mirror,
I say, God damn, bro, you look good. And then I step out. I look in the mirror and it's like, no, I'm sorry. Go ahead, go, dude. So today we'll have this workshop. It's a portrait workshop talking to or showing people, how to talk to strangers on the street. Doing this because I think people have a little bit of a trepidation into talking to strangers and, just breaking that wall of, hey, can I take your picture? And so hopefully then also learn the different techniques that come with shooting on the street, because there's a lot going on. But even though there's a lot going on, there's things you can use to your advantage, like shadows and reflections and the time of the day and whatnot. Take great pictures of strangers. Ooh, look at you. I know. Burning money. So my name is Naeem Douglas. I am the general manager for Souls in Focus. I've been with Souls now for a little more than almost 2 years, I think, like a year and a half. I do a lot of portrait photography on the street, like street portraiture and whatnot, where I go around and ask strangers for portraits. Once upon a time, I used to be a TV news reporter. And at that time, it was a one-man band show. And that means I was the reporter, the producer, the writer, the shooter, all in one. And I did that for years. In a lot of ways, I feel like that job kind of weirdly prepared me to be able to talk to people on the street, but also frame them up to make them look, nice. People tell you interesting stories they wouldn't tell their friends, they wouldn't tell their families and things like that. So you get a connection with people. And plus, I love taking pictures of people. And there's no shortage of people outside on these streets to take pictures of. Start with you.
Hi everybody, I'm Sosa. I'm from the Heights. I'm sorry, I'm a little nervous. I don't like to talk in front of people. So.
Hi everybody, I'm Lauren. I'm here with this guy. And
I don't know, somebody mentioned earlier like strengthening muscles. Over the past year, I've become more interested in shooting people.
For us, just as humans, to walk out the house knowing our why and kind of knowing our purpose, right? And it doesn't have to be I want to do fashion portraiture, but it helped me really gain confidence in myself as a shooter and as a storyteller, because I got to look at myself and I said, okay, this is how I should have posed, or this is how I would have posed a model. And Scott, right? Scott, to your point, how do you pose people? How do you want to look in front of the camera? And it's also, and I understand, right? I get it. I get it.
I don't.
I absolutely understand.
My name is Natia Jones. Most folks call me Tia. I'm one of the co-founders of Souls in Focus, and I am a portraiture photographer. When we originally first founded Souls in Focus, we were having monthly photo walks. Every month, it was a new photo walk in a new neighborhood. We didn't skip it. And then, of course, the world shut down, so we had to figure out how to connect with our community online, which is something that was and still is probably a challenge for us because we're millennials, me and my co-founders. And I welcome challenge, and my two co-founders, all three of us welcome challenge because we are just three completely different people from three completely different backgrounds, three completely different careers as well. So when we're met with a challenge, whether the world creates the challenge or whether we actually accept it, we created this organization based off of inspire, educate, and connecting. So if the world is changing, no matter whether it is a global pandemic or a new social media platform, as long as we are creating platforms and destinations for people to be able to be inspired, educated, or connecting with their inner self, that's the goal.
That's a good question. So the question was, how do you get someone to relax if you only have a few seconds or a minute or so to take a picture of someone. I try to keep it light with saying, I'm gonna be here with you the whole time, don't worry. I'll make sure you look okay. And you kind of just pose them in the way that you see fit. And I think they'll pick up a little bit off of what you're, kind of how you're doing it and whatnot, and relax themselves a little bit. You want Instagram?
Oh, yes. And if anyone, you need marble, for your houses, come over here. Ask for Malu. Take care, guys. Thank you.
So this part of the workshop is the demonstration part, and that means that all the students here, or students we want to call them, are now going to go around and try and take pictures of strangers with the different things that I told them in the workshop. And hopefully, I'm hoping that people at least talk to one or two and come back and kind of share their experience. I hope it breaks the ice for them as far as, breaking that barrier of being a little hesitant to talk to somebody. And this is a really cool part of Brooklyn where people are dying to be have their pictures taken. So we'll see what they come up with.
Dude.
Oh, hell yeah.
And they're like beautiful spirits.
Oh,
you should go say hello to them.
We definitely will.
Oh my god, there's another one.
I know, look, we're all in a class right now, and they gave us an assignment to take pictures of great looking people.
Oh, serious?
And we
What
found
class
you.
are you?
Souls in Focus.
Okay. There's a saying about how people want to do dope shit with their friends, and that's what Souls is. That's why I enjoy going to the meetings that we have on the back end every month, or all of the different things that we have to do to prepare for it, because the end product is so dope, and it's so much fun to see my friends doing cool things. Like,
I agree. It is such a beautiful way to spend life, like actually building with friends, and it'd be like this kismet, spiritual like movement, and you're doing like cool, really cool, things that people can look at online and be like, oh, this group of people is awesome. Like, the work that they're doing is really great. Yeah. But being able to be a part of people's lives and seeing each other grow, it makes me really emotional, because I know that I am making my childhood dreams come true. Like being able to do creative things with my friends and watching them grow, and understanding not only do we have the opportunity to like change our communities, but we have the opportunity to inspire people from all around the world, from different walks of life. And that is just something that you can't make it up.
This is what we do creatively, is something that I can't even say it's something that I wanted to do as a kid, because what we're doing is not even something that I necessarily thought was a thing. Mm-hmm. Making a living, being creative is not something that I necessarily thought would be a thing for me. And like Souls fits into that, as far as like doing photography, the other work that I do in other places and whatnot. And yeah, it's a dream come true that I didn't even know I had, kind of thing. Yeah, it's that's why asking the best part about working for Souls is not fair, because everything is like, it's this. But then, as much as no one likes to do meetings, that's the time I get to see y'all, right. And we get to hang out and whatnot. So it's great.
Yeah, when I was in high school, people would ask me, like, I'd say sophomore to senior year, what do you want to be when you grow up? And I would be like, oh, I want to be a humanitarian. And my mama would be like, a what? Like, we understand what it is, but how are you going to make money?
Yeah.
And I knew, like, by studying Soch, I knew by grabbing a camera, and I knew by like going on that first photo walk and like continuing the connection that I made with all of my friends, that, okay, this is something special. And I understand like that deep rooted, okay, I want to be a humanitarian. I want to change communities. And I'm able to do that in a really, really beautiful way with Souls.
Oh my gosh, yeah. It is a lot of fun. For you, Sade and Henry, is that 3 years ago, I didn't know y'all.
Yeah.
That is something that I still kind of think about, because if I would come to the Naim of 3 years ago, I'm like, yo, there's going to be these three people, you don't know them, but they're going to be a really important part of your life. And it's like, oh, okay, sure. Like, that doesn't happen in that 3-year span, or typically doesn't. And now?
I remember when you followed me, actually. I was like, who's this?
Ooh, tell me more, yes.
Who's this cool guy following me who takes really awesome portraits? And then you DM me and you were asking me to be a part of your project.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh shit, like he wants me to be a part of his project.
That's great.
And when we were looking for a GM, you were like one of 3 people that we were talking about with. And once like we had that initial meeting, you came in talking like you were already GM. Like it wasn't like an interview. You were just like, yeah, this is what I would do.
But the G,
like his fedora, his beard is really cool.
Yeah, but being part of Souls as a GM came at an interesting time because it was one I was transitioning from being in the news business to trying to make being a creative full-time happen. And in many ways, Souls, as me being a part of Souls in Focus as a member, really kind of colored how I am as a creative while I'm with the board on Souls, but also as a creative just like in general, because it allowed me to be vulnerable with a new set of people in ways that I think I guard myself against being that way. And then even led me to, I'm doing a project now about friendship, and I think that project doesn't happen unless Souls and me cross paths, which is, yeah, fantastic. I think we might be done.
That was beautiful. That was awesome. Love it.
See, I never knew